Can you talk about any of the interactions that you had where you were like hustled by the police or anything like that, and kind of how that went down and how you got out of it?
I got arrested and put in jail in Peru, in Lima, Peru.
Oh, no way.
Um, yeah, I was on the back of my RV. I had a motorcycle, a little scooter,
Hmm.
and whenever I'd be in these cities, I would just unload the scooter and zip around the cities on
Perfect.
my scooter. Yeah. Well, at the time, I had this Mexican girl. She was traveling with me, and we had been just cruising the town, and we it was about 11 o'clock at night, and we get pulled over at a checkpoint. Well, they always want you. You're supposed to have your passport on you whenever you're in a foreign country at all times, but I don't. It's almost a rookie move to do it because people will steal it, you'll lose it, and now you're in a world of trouble. So I never would. I would just carry around a photocopy of my passport,
Hmm.
and I never had a problem with it. Well, they start busting my balls about it, and then they start claiming that I was drunk, which I wasn't. And you could tell that they were trying to fish for money, you know.
Hmm.
And I didn't have any that much money on me, and B, I didn't do anything wrong, so I was resisting. Well, listen to this. So they're like, okay, we're arresting you. And at this point, I was like, okay, well, whatever. There's nothing I can do. They put me in the back seat of the police car. I'm sitting there. The windows are down. There's two cops in the front seat. Now, my friend, my Mexican friend, she's trying to talk to these Peruvian police, like trying to get me out and trying to figure out how we can pay them off and everything. Um, where they weren't having it. They're going to take me, obviously, I guess, to pressure me or whatever. So they go to try to get on my scooter to start it up and take it back to the police station, but they can't figure out how to do it. They can't figure out how to start it. This is not a scooter that they have there. It's very different. So I was like, okay. So I just reach out. I open the door on the outside of the police car
Oh
by
man.
myself. I get out of the squad car, and now there's three police standing around my scooter and my Mexican friend. And they're standing around like, what are we gonna do? And I walk up and I'm in a good mood, I'm laughing, sort of, and I kind of tap him on the shoulder. I was like, get off, you know. So he stands up and I sit down and I start the scooter up, like just real quick. Now they're standing there and they're looking at me, you know, and I was like, get on the back, you know? So they look at each other, and one of the cops gets on the back of my scooter, and we start driving to the
No
police
way.
station. So, so here I am. I'm getting arrested for drunk driving, but I'm driving my scooter with a police officer on the back of my scooter. And yeah, we were laughing. I was honking the horn, and I was just having a good time. It was just so unreal. And we get back to the police station. They're trying to pressure me a little bit, and they throw me in jail. And it was a really bad experience. But they
at
let me
least
out the next morning.
at least the beginning of it was funny, right? What was bad about it? Was it just like,
It was pitch black. It's just like Train Spotting. If you ever seen that movie, it's like the bathroom. I couldn't even see the bathroom because there were no lights. There was uh, just cardboard boxes on the floor. They just put me in there.
oh man,
I mean, it was a
that's like
smell.
legit.
It
Dude,
is legit.
that is somewhere. What were you thinking when you're like, ha, laughing on your way there? Then you get to jail and they put you in that cell where you're like, oh shit.
I was like, oh my gosh, what have I gotten myself into? You know, like this is unreal.
Yeah.
Uh, the smell was so bad. I had I found a chair in there and I scooted it all as close to the cell door as I could, and I just propped my feet up on the door and I just hung out there. I couldn't sleep. The floor was sticky. There was water everywhere. There was a guy drunk, passed out, snoring on the floor. Yeah, it was really bad, man. Really bad.
How'd you end up getting out of it?
Well, the night before, they took my blood. They forced me to take a blood sample to prove I wasn't drunk. And the next morning, they said that I passed it. And they still try to hassle me for some money to release my scooter. But in the end, they let me go. So it's an experience.
That's crazy, dude. You actually, I remember you talking about before, you were in Mexico City and you thought someone was stealing your scooter off the back of your RV, but you were actually in the middle of the earthquake that was happening in Mexico City that happened a few years ago. It was actually a pretty big earthquake too.
Yeah, it was a massive earthquake. I had just left Mexico City that day.